Just before Nollsie starts part 2 of his chat with Guy Sebastian, a quick reminder about his national tour, which kicks off on April 5. There are shows on the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, Geelong, Ballarat, Canberra, Thirroul, Melbourne, Warragul, Newcastle, Rooty Hill and Sydney, Adelaide, Perth, Merredin, Margaret River, Toowoomba and Tamworth that are on sale now. Head to shannonnoll.com to get your tickets. Now on with the podcast.
Because I was going to ask you, how do you feel about the AI in coming into the writing and the producing sort of music industry side of things?
I haven't thought about it heaps, but I feel like we've been in this industry for 20 years now.
So much has changed since we started, eh?
Yeah,
like
but also
crazy.
just before we started was things like Napster. And, you know, we were around when we were still signing CDs at,
absolutely.
at different record stores and
Still be doing that in a month,
Yeah,
mate.
no, I've got to heave at home.
yeah.
I've got to get right into them.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm
Signed
saying?
copies available at Sanity and JB now.
Yeah. But, you know, we've seen all of the fearful changes to the landscape.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't move the needle for me. Like I refuse to buy into the fear because I know that true art and true artists will always find a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so no one can tell me that AI is going to replace full stop human beings because how boring would that be? Like even if you're a human, what are you going to go to an AI show?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
You might for the first 2 years when it's
because
weird and interesting or whatever. But I think like anything, you've just got to use it to better your art. So I will be using like I've started using a mastering plugin that's like an AI mastering plugin. It's still not great. Like I've still got it needs my
but
human
that for someone
tweaking.
like me who had no idea about that would be brilliant because it just gives you a template to start off from and then to go from. Yeah,
that's the best part though, because you would be able to unlock things that is normally a limitation.
That's right.
Which is just called advancing. You know, that's technological advancement. Now, it's like taxi drivers when Uber came in. They're going to be filthy, but at the end of the day, you do have to somehow adapt and
evolve.
Yeah, and so I don't know. The AI things, it's interesting, but all of the people that I really respect have the same concept. There's a guy, Oak Felder, he's an amazing producer and he's got a lot of great things to say about it, where he's similar to what I'm saying. He's like, you've just got to use any tool that's available for you to make your art better. It's not going to replace you. If you see it as a threat, that's the wrong way to think about it. I think anything in technology, if it makes your art better, you know, I think to a certain extent, you know, then it's great, you know, but nothing's going to replace raw human talent. Otherwise, it's boring.
It's crazy right now because you can listen to bloody a politician sing Rawhide or something because they AI generate that.
I love that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm listening to Arnie.
Arnie singing Rawhide.
Eric Cartman AI. Fantastic.
Have you heard the Evanescence Eric Cartman thing?
Yes.
Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard that.
I'm finding that while we're doing this.
Yeah, do it. Absolutely.
I mean, for stuff like that, I think it's amazing. Actually, someone showed me when I was songwriting in LA a few weeks ago. He's a songwriter and he wanted to. I'm trying to do two things at the same time.
You're right. That's all good.
He wrote some songs to pitch to Rihanna and he wrote another one to pitch to Ariana Grande.
Yep.
He sung it down the octave, chose this AI. It's like lalal or something .com. He chose this voice and I swear to God, it's Rihanna. Like you cannot tell that it's not Rihanna. And then he kept flicking between the original and he's like, dude, I've just pitched the song to Rihanna and she knows exactly what it's going to sound like if her voice was on it.
Yeah,
you know?
how good is that?
Like
That's
it's
cool,
stuff like that where I think,
yeah.
you know, this guy is not like the best singer in the world. So he's not trying to be. He's not trying to make money off being an AI singer. But he's just made a sick demo that's really suited. So I think when you're using it for that, what did I say? Cartman AI.
Oh, did you see the one where they slowed down Cardi B and she sounded like Jay-Z?
Oh. This hits. I mean, did we just do a triette with Cartman? That's Evanescence.
That's the first on the podcast.
Featuring Cartman, Guy
Tim's only
Sebastian.
going, yes!
Who saw that coming? That's
I'll tell you what. That wasn't in the notes.
But, I mean, that's Lambs.
That's crazy.
That to me
Isn't that
slams.
amazing?
Careless Whisper. There's Eric Cartman doing Careless Whisper as well. That's pretty cool.
I've got to look that up. I mean, it is hilarious. Like,
that's fun.
I think my short answer is don't give in to the fear. Use it.
No, yeah,
for your benefit.
Because I mean, the biggest thing too is especially where I grew up. The so limited opportunities to go and see anybody live. Like especially big name act coming around. I think Red Gum came out to Condo when I was about 12, and that was the only band of the whole of my time out there that ever came past the mountains.
Yeah, right.
So listening to stuff, whereas you could generate an AI thing that you can listen to music to that's generated whatever. But I think once you go and see a show in person and see and feel the electricity and feel actually the bass, hitting you and the person that you've been watching or you're a fan of, mate, point at you when they're singing, that sort of stuff. That's irreplaceable human connection,
especially in our world.
and vulnerability and in a moment between two people, and just an experience that's so impossible to fabricate, if you know what I mean.
Well, the part of it that's missing, which is the key ingredient, is like you can't tell me someone's going to go and like pay money to see.
Yeah, hologram.
An AI Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
And you know why? They would go as a fan just to see it, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But no one's gonna choose that over seeing Taylor Swift because it's Taylor who wrote this song out of her own feelings, and they feel like Taylor, like you said, when they look at them or when they point at them.
They want to see the look on their face when they're singing a part and see if it's emotional to them as much as it is to the person.
The listener,
to the listener,
And I don't think anyone can replace the humanness of art because it's just like when someone's at a show and you're singing Now I Run and they've gone through whatever with their own dad, right?
Yep.
Then what you're telling me a Cartman generated AI?
That's right, absolutely, yeah.
Bad example, but
no,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they want you
Yeah, that's right.
to
it's like
fight
if
your emotions
if
on
there's
stage.
a chance to see Elvis still alive, like people go and see a generated hologram.
You don't think he's alive?
Well, he could be alive. I'm not saying that.
I've seen some pretty convincing docos.
At a show, doing a show. He's not doing them anymore.
Yeah, no, exactly. Sorry to derail you.
No, he could be too. I'm not saying never say never.
Did you ever watch any of those growing up? I remember sitting with my mum and dad and watching like my dad was a big Elvis fan, so we're watching this like conspiracy video of Elvis being
Oh, and
alive.
he's a pastor. There's a pastor in America I've seen, and he
that
looks.
They say is a
like he's got the same teeth.
I don't know if any of this random Elvis talk will make your podcast.
It's all there, mate. It's all killing, no filler here, buddy.
Yeah.
So, mate,
no editing, guys. No editing.
Well, it's on my studio. I'm telling you now, I'm not editing it.
That's for sure. Absolutely. Now, mate, in 2013, you and Jill set up your Sebastian Foundation. Now, what the purpose of the foundation, how have you found that, and tell me some of the things you've achieved with that, because that, in my opinion, is a beautiful, beautiful thing that you've done just to help people. Something that was within your power to create a thing. Like, give us a bit of a rundown and some stats on that, because it's enough. Apart from being as busy as you are, writing, songwriting, touring, performing. Coaching
modeling,
on the show. Coaching. No, I didn't want to say judging.
That's why I'll put it in your head. Coaching.
And being a father and husband, all that sort of thing. To find time for others is just really selfless. So let's tell us a bit about that.
Well, I mean, look, you as well. I think we were given so much on that show 20 years ago. And it's you always try and give back.
I think now too. I think we're still having a career. We're still getting being given.
Well, I think it set the precedent, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because to me, I always talk about that as almost this thing, not on a negative weight on my shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like a reminder for me, because to me, I said it at the show, that 20 years show that you were at, and it's such a trip to go through what we went through to get to our careers, because people who didn't know us literally paid money. They went, this is costing me money. I want to see you achieve your dream.
Yeah, that's
I don't know you.
No, absolutely.
But
and people who
here's
had
my
no
money.
money were spending
Literally
thousands of dollars on phone calls.
So I think that almost set a precedent, because I know for you as well, I've always seen you give back. I've always seen you do the little things no one ever sees for the community, for kids that just come up to you. And so I think I wanted to do something a bit more official. I found myself just doing stuff for heaps of random charities and stuff. And
it is fraught with danger too, because a lot of the charity stuff is a little bit sketchy,
you can't
you know
control
what I mean?
it.
You don't know where the
can't
money's
control
going.
it.
You don't know who's benefiting from it. You know, so you got to trust people with it. You know, and then once again, the guilty by association thing. If something negative goes down with a charity that you've done a free gig for, next thing you're part of the problem. You know?
Exactly. Well, I with our foundation, I wanted to set up something that, I also, I mentioned religion before. I feel like what I went through was a little difficult, because I have a lot of thoughts about money and how it's spent, and it was hard for me at a certain stage in my life, because I didn't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because there's so many great religious organisations that are just these, you go to a small little church, they've got 50 like kids from World Vision or whatever, Compassion on the Wall, they're like, they've got their community events, they're so community focused, but then I feel like then there's the other side of religion that's sort of just the extortionate amounts of costs and it's like a business, and so
that's the thing.
I think I just really wanted to set up something that had such a really specific purpose that meant a lot to us. And youth mental health is where we're at. We've got this schools program in schools called Open Parachute. So it's a program called Open Parachute in schools, and youth mental health program. It's all written and designed and I'll say that again. Sorry. So it's the whole thing is formulated by Dr. Hayley Watson, and so she's an incredible clinical psychologist who put this thing together. We wanted to find something like that, and possibly even pay researchers to design
to come up with something.
And then Jules met her at this like girls mentoring thing.
Awesome.
And it was just a perfect program. It's rolled out heaps in Canada and in the UK and in parts of the US and stuff, but nothing in Australia that was like this. It's a peer-to-peer program. So they just watch videos of other kids their own age. So we film kids from all sorts of different age groups about different subjects. There's like bullying, social media, obviously anxiety and depression and all that sort of stuff, but even stuff like it's geographically catered to. So we'll do stuff out in the country where it's drought related. Parents are going through drought, and
that's right.
It affected them in this way, and so it's really effective. For us, it costs us $15 a kid for the whole year.
Yeah, right. Yep.
It used to cost us $30, but now we've got so many kids that Open Parachute have now, they're tipping in $15 on top of what we tip in for each kid. So we've got close to 100,000 kids now going through the program. We're in like I can't remember, 200 schools, close to 200 schools around Australia.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's so good.
It's really cool.
Good.
My kids are going through the program in their school, and it's cool, like when they come home and they talk about stuff that we haven't like subjects that we haven't had to awkwardly try and navigate.
Absolutely, because all that sort of stuff is so difficult. I mean, a lot of time, especially out in the bush, the kids learn a lot of stuff that off other kids at school. And there's like serious challenges as well, not just in the cities. Obviously the challenges out bush and in rural areas are so different as well. So with social media especially now, because like if bullying, for instance, going home's not getting away from it.
No.
Like there's 24/7, 24/7 just bullies are getting bullied, and there's no hiding it. You know what I mean?
And the problem is, right, growing up, like you probably cared about what Adam
to
Damo
and
a few of your mates like thought of you. So so you'd go, oh, they think this of me. Oh, geez, I better pull my head in. Or they said I've done this great thing. Now there's no actual solid foundation of the community for these kids, because everyone has access, everyone has input and an opinion, and so they don't actually know which they don't know where their Northern Star is.
No,
right? They don't know.
They haven't got a starting point.
No, and there's too much input and too much opinions, and it just rocks their foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
You know, Jules lost her brother to suicide. We were 4 days into our honeymoon, and got an awful phone call, and rushed back. Like, I think we flew for 36 hours or something, just on the next flight, desperate to get home, and then. I lost one of my mates who was in my band as well to mental health, and
that's who the choir's about.
That's who choir's about, and I think it's all. I mean, when I look at those two people, you're talking about ridiculously talented, funny as hell individuals, light up a room.
Yep.
There's no formula to it, and I just think. There's so much stuff in our school systems that's important. Sport's important. Like, it teaches a lot of good things.
Absolutely, yeah.
Academics, of course. But when you get out into the real world, most of the adults who are listening to this podcast, you know how important it is to be able to just not be hit with a situation with no thought whatsoever gone into how you can mentally handle it.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
But if at a school level you're going...
You got a little bit of preparedness.
Just a little bit. This might happen. You might do this. It gets shared on Snapchat everywhere, and you think your life's over. It's not.
Absolutely. Well, that's the nude stuff and all that. The kids was really big there a couple of years ago, sending nudes and that. And just the fact that they're always going to be out there. Yeah. I mean, no one was telling him that.
I haven't shared any of yours, by the way.
Good. They were just for you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's probably why I tried to bring that up, just to clarify that. Probably should have done it off the show.
That probably wasn't a good place to insert a gag like that. I'm sorry. Keep going. What an awful place to...
Oh, just delete him, man. Delete him, we'll be right.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Deleting nothing, guys. It's a reminder.
Tour's coming up.
You got it, guy.
But anyway, mate, no offence to anything. I think it's magnificent and really proud of you for doing all that stuff. You and Jules, it's a great initiative. I think it's so. Get behind those. Get behind the Sebastian Foundation, guys, when you can. And mate, I'm happy to help out with that and with anything I can too. If
mate, you have in the past. You've done our carols and done stuff for us.
It was good fun.
Yeah.
So, mate, tell me this. 20 crazy years for both of us. What's the next 20 involve that you can think of, or what you want, or what you hope, or what you dream?
Yeah, look, I think I just want to keep making music, and just being a good dad. It's pretty simple for me. I gave an answer, which, to be honest, I didn't mean. I just said it as a joke. In some interviews, because I went to Taylor Swift's show, and I'm going to say this in it. There's always a sense that you've got to be sensitive in how you say things, and I'm not always that articulate. I was asked, how does it feel being an artist and you're at Taylor Swift's show and you're sitting there? And my answer was...
It's like a loaded question, but isn't it?
Well, my answer was...
How does it feel to be nowhere near as good as this person?
Yeah, I mean, it's an obvious thing, and there's no... Me and you would sit and get a question like that and laugh, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even meant to be asked in a mean way. But my answer was, those docos where they keep zooming out on Earth. It's like about space and the universe. And they go, and then there's this solar system, and then if you zoom out to this, and Earth just keeps getting tinier and tinier, and then they show you, and then you feel smaller than an ant and insignificant. And I was like, kind of feels like that when you're at a Taylor Swift show. But I actually, I don't know about you, I never thought I'd be able to do this.
I didn't think anything like this was going to happen.
So I'll tell you my honest opinion about it all, as far as where I am going to get. Everything since that day on Idol is a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Literally, because I never thought I'd get to record an album.
Yeah.
And I remember having that wine with you, that beer with you, when we found out.
We were both going to get signed,
we're getting signed.
Well, I'd watched the American one, see, and they'd signed the runner-up and the winner from that. and the UK one as well.
Yeah, they
So
say.
as soon as we made the top two, I'm going like,
yeah,
surely.
because we got to make music like
Yeah,
that was
man.
way more than anything else. So, and I know it's like you listen to the Tony Robbins, all that, set
Yeah.
micro goals, man. And
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I think I just keep it simple. I
Yeah.
know I work hard.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep working hard. I listen, I learn. I was like, before you got
Yep.
here, I was just doing scales for an hour.
yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
on my piano. Like, I'm not going to stop because I
No.
love it so much.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
The rest I can't really control. I can just keep
No,
trying.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think my point about the Taylor Swift thing was I was kind of lying a bit because I know personally I could never ever do that.
Yeah, but that's not what you're trying to do either.
No. And so
So it doesn't mean you're insignificant by not doing that.
no, and I'm also not arrogantly saying probably could have if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously not.
Yeah,
Obviously
but I wasn't
not.
trying.
No, like I think where I'm at is more exponentially more than anything I could have ever hoped for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like yesterday, Sam called me and he's like, "Dude, we're number 1 in Argentina."
yeah, that's cool.
So what?
It'd be nice. That's cool. Yeah.
Number 1? I don't think I've ever charted in
Yeah,
Argentina.
but is that? That'd
so
be cool. Yeah.
everything's a bonus for me.
Yeah.
Anything that happens,
Yeah.
and what people think is something I would think is successful
Yep.
is not what I think is successful.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So I know how much I can physically share without compromising
Yeah.
my kids, my family.
And that's a big one too. You know,
Yeah.
like if you were doing a world tours, you're not going to be home for 18 months.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so you can more or less kiss your family goodbye.
Well, I was saying that about Taylor because Jules and I have just been in this kind of like bubble of worship appreciation for what we witnessed that night.
yeah.
Mate, if you saw that show,
Yeah.
it is hit after hit after, and
Yeah,
everything is so personal from teenage years when she was doing country on a guitar to like,
Yep.
she has never held anything for herself really in my eyes. I toured with her
Yeah.
on her Red tour.
That's right. Yeah.
She's the most generous artist I've seen as far as like nothing is mine, everything I have is yours to
Yeah,
her
right.
fans.
Yeah,
every
yeah.
experience I get, every relationship, everything
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I want
yeah.
you guys to learn from it through
Yep.
my art. And
Wow.
I feel like
Crazy.
no wonder people are so in love with her and of course because it's so generous what she's done.
Yeah.
And I just massively respect her for it. But I think I know the reality. Like I've done a little stint living in LA.
Yeah.
You know, you've travelled.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
And I feel like anything else that happens in the next 20 years is a bonus. Like
yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know. I can't
Yep.
really answer. Like what am I going to say? Oh, a Grammy? Like who cares?
Yeah.
Because then I've set
No.
that as the measure of
That's
of,
right. And
Like,
you
what my
won't be happy
purpose.
unless that happens, which is totally not the
Yeah.
case.
And I couldn't care.
I mean,
less.
we're the luckiest people in the world. I think, you know, to have the lifestyle and you know, I'm not. I live on 100 acres of bush.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not too hard to please, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I'm not, you know, extravagant in any way like that. But I can just leave on a Friday and go and do a couple of gigs on the weekend and then be home
Then be
and
back.
see the kids and see the family and all that sort of stuff, you know, and work for. Well, I mean, there's so much travel and as you know, early mornings and late nights and all that sort of thing. But it's literally 2 hours, 3 hours worth of work over the weekend. And then I'm going home now.
But do you feel that like the same? Because
I want to write a song about that actually, about just you know how really cool it is and how blessed we are, you know, just to have the opportunity to do that and have that as our income,
yeah,
you know, our lifestyle and you know the opportunity that's being created by it, you know.
well,
Which is really special.
It's the thing, I think, without that stuff, right? What was I doing the other day? I was doing something very unglamorous. What was it? Jules pointed it out. I can't remember. I was doing something. I was cleaning something.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. You can,
No,
cut, all this,
oh, yeah,
cut all this dead time out. No, what was I doing? I was... God. I mean, for me, it's the moments like... A few weeks ago, I was cleaning out my storage, right?
Yep.
I'm dripping with sweat, and I'm just like going through old... I found a box full of old letters, like fan letters and all that sort of stuff. I found the card that said, you know, Guy Sebastian... Sorry to bring it up, but when Usher announced the winner, I found that card I've got this
really?
memory
That's
box.
Cool, yeah.
But I'm dripping with sweat, and then I can come home and I can coach.
Where is that card?
Burn it.
No, have you got a rubber?
What did it really say?
What did it really say on there, mate?
Well, yeah, underneath there was an impression that said Shannon. But it's in those moments where I'm fishing or where I played yesterday. I played LMS cricket, like 2020 cricket.
Yeah.
And I can sometimes go from an arena show to a little golf course in Griffith or something, and to me, I feel like you said, I'm the luckiest person to have a normal life with normal human interactions.
Yep.
And I'm not like I don't have an entourage. I don't have security.
Yep.
Not everyone cares who I am.
Yep.
It's to me, it's like that is the perfect life.
Yeah,
I still get
because
to
you've
do
got
this.
a foot in both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
But if I didn't have that stuff,
yep.
I would be lost in the complete wash of what can be an extremely superficial, hard business to be in.
Absolutely. And it's all about playing a game with it too to further yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are willing to do anything.
Well, you've got this little pure thing, right? You've got this song that you've written, and then the interaction of like you read, oh, mate, this song means so much to me because I've got
absolutely.
This
well,
and
mate,
blah, blah,
Lift
blah.
is a perfect example of that. For 20 years, I've had people, dozens and dozens and dozens of people come up to me just going like, "Man, I just want to thank you for your song Lift."
Yeah.
He said, I had actually taken the steps to do something really horrendous to myself, and Lift come on the radio. Yeah. And then I didn't do it because of that song, or I was really low and I listened to the Lift every day, all day, every day, and it just got me out of it. That is just magical. It's majestic.
And that's every day for both of us, right?
Yeah,
so
man.
I could wake up on any given day.
That's such a beautiful thing.
Literally jump on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of those, and read some DMs. Yeah. And it's like, okay, there's your purpose.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But we hold that like this. Yep. And then surrounding it all is absolute bullshit.
The rest of
it is so hard to navigate, and it gets you so anxious and so like, and there's so much kind of evilness in people's intentions and ambitions, and I wouldn't have a bar of that if I didn't have this solid, the normal friendships and lives going on. I just wouldn't be able to do it.
No, I'm the same, mate, with it. I'm stoked. Like you said, I don't know how. I mean, the last thing in the world, I don't know why people would want to, but people like Bieber and that, because they get attacked for if they lash out. But 24 hours a day, they've got people following them around. And
see, I reckon he's more normal than you think. Too.
No, I know, but I'm just what he's got to put up with.
That's why it's driving him insane, because he actually craves normal stuff. Yeah.
Anonymity.
Same thing. Animosity. No, that's not the one.
One of them. Anonymity.
Amnesty.
That's it.
One of those.
Oh, cool. So, mate, in the future, I think we should do a bit of writing. We talked about that before. We've had to finish that song off. Tim was saying before. Is there any things that other people wouldn't know? And we were talking about. You brought up earlier about the song we haven't finished, and I wouldn't even know how it went.
When did we start it?
It was over the couple of days we were rehearsing at the Opera House. There was a big. There's one of there's so many rooms, like dressing rooms there, and one had a big piano in it.
Did I record a voice note?
Yeah, you might have. If you can find that on there after 20 years, mate, you are way better at technology.
Opera House.
Opera House. The finale.
20 years ago. I thought you meant Opera House gone. I was
when it was the finale and we're mucking around, you were playing the piano and we just started writing a song then.
Oh, God, we'd write something way better now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Way better.
I'm going like, if you could find it 20 years later.
Yeah. Hey, honestly.
But you just meant just before Christmas.
Yeah. I meant just a few months ago. And likewise, I'll flick some stuff through, any concepts that, like I was saying, like anything that hits home that's like, I feel like it should mean something.
I reckon it's a great concept, though, the life they gave us, really.
I feel like a good title would be The Older, the Wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just something about how old we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Age
shut up,
before
you weren't robbed.
beauty. Oh, yeah.
Shut up, Nollsie, you weren't robbed. You're lost, righto? Just wear it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Always come second, but just ask the missus. I've used that a few times.
You've used that a few times.
Oh, I had to have some
still
come back.
good. It's still
It still
good.
works. It still gets a laugh.
Everyone was a winner that night.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's right. Absolutely.
The reality
Look
of
at us
that
here now.
amazing
Look at us
night,
20 years
historic
later.
night
Yeah.
in this country.
There were no losers.
Tim, that's why you're still on the team.
That's
Because you
exactly
you
right.
always come in with those things.
That's exactly right.
More people,
Shannon, you're
more
not.
people talk about that than the moon landing. I mean,
Geez, we've chatted. I don't know how you're going to edit this down, but
No, we'll make two.
we're going to put it in 2 parts.
oh, that's good.
Mate, my beautiful friend, Guy Sebastian, thank you so much, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to do this at your house, but just thank you for being on the podcast too, and thank you for being my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming around. It's good to hang.
Awesome,
I wish
mate.
you had time for golf today.
Me too.
Actually,
but
I've got to pick up. I've got to pick up the kids soon.
Yeah, you will have to.
Jeez,
too,
we've been chatting. I love it,
That's great.
mate.
Awesome.
I could chat all day.
I know.
With
Well, we
you.
haven't had a chance for a long time. So
No.
it was a long time coming.
Well, honestly, let's do that song.
Yeah, I think so. We'll do that because I also thought too. We'd get Blake up too.
Yeah,
Maybe write something for him would be cool.
that would be cool.
We've got to do it now. You've promised the nation that you're going to do a
Oh,
song
yeah,
together,
that's
so-
Trust me, I'm.
I think
You're locked
this-
in
this-
now.
I'm
well,
always up for writing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in here every day.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm home.
Yep, yep.
This is where I.
Oh, why wouldn't you be? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Better
yeah.
with aircon, isn't it?
So, guys, thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please like and follow this podcast on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts, and give the show a rating. See you soon. Take care.